don't try the drug, because there's no medication for addiction. The fact that you have gone for rehab doesn't mean that you have recovered. It's not malaria. I think the issue has to do with also how people get access to the drugs without prescription. It's a major challenge.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am your host, Abigail, and this is the Chaos Show. We'll be talking about the mental health and addiction. Joining me today is Justice Wonders, who is an expert in mental health. Welcome, Justice.
Thank you.
You're looking very good.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you too?
I'm blessed.
Thank God.
So back to our topic. Please, can you explain something small about mental health?
All right. Thank you so much. I'd like to greet our audience too. I think a lot of people have their own misconceptions regarding mental health.
Okay.
And so this is a big opportunity for us to dialogue, to talk, to explain for people to understand what mental health really is. So basically, for the purposes of some of these things that we are doing, mental health is the well-being of an individual psychologically, emotionally, and socially. And when we talk about these things, we are looking at how they are able to handle stress, how they relate with others, and their ability to make life decisions.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that's what mental health is.
Oh, I never knew, honestly. So, what's one myth about mental health you love to clear it up?
A lot of people think that mental health or let me say mental illness is
Okay.
for a group of people. They think that people who suffer mental health belong to a certain class in the society. And one of the things they also say is that people believe that people with mental illnesses are abusive, they are aggressive, they are not able to relate well with people.
Okay.
But as someone who has worked on the world for quite some number of years now, people with mental illness are not people who are aggressive. They are not difficult people. They are not abusive. They are not violent as we hear people talk about.
Okay.
They are just, the way we are. Just that unfortunate life happenings, take place in their workplaces or marriages that led them to some of these situations. So the misconception around mental health basically is that people think that anyone who is not mentally okay is abusive, is aggressive, and is violent. It is not the case. It's not the case.
But I recall there was a time I met such person. The person was very aggressive.
Yes, so it has to do with emotions.
Emotions.
Yes, so it has to do with emotions. Even someone who is not suffering or battling any mental health challenge or disease, there are times that when it comes to decision making, because of life stresses or the stresses that come our way, we often get annoyed. Our emotions are up. Sometimes we are down. So It's not always the case that any other person gets annoyed, and that means it's basically because we are human beings. I don't know if you understand what.
Yeah, I'm getting
yes,
what you're
it's basically
saying.
because we are human beings. Yeah. So the fact that you saw someone aggressive or violent does not necessarily mean that people who are mentally challenged are violent or aggressive.
Okay.
It's not really the case.
Okay. So my next question is, how is mental health related to physical health? How are they related?
Um, there's a slogan that there's no health without mental health.
There's no health without mental
Yes.
health.
And one of the slogans is also that it could be you. It could be you basically means that any other person, regardless of your social class, can suffer from any mental health condition or disease.
Okay.
So we say that it could be you. So that when we are looking at how people get to stigmatize others, discriminate others, people think that, once someone is having a mental health challenge, they cannot function or they can't do a certain job in the society. So we say that it could be you, just for us to empathize or to show empathy to any other person. But let me come back to the question you asked initially.
Okay.
When you're asking me how the two relate,
Yes.
then we are saying that what's your mind, your body. I mean, if you look at depression, it has to do with the mind. Okay, so your mind affects your physical system or your physical body, because someone who is having depression is probably going to suffer what we call anxiety, other stresses, which can result in headaches.
Okay.
You know, the person can have stomach aches and so many other physical symptoms. So,
Okay.
whilst the other one gives you the positive aspects of the physical illness or the mental illness, the other one gives you the negative aspect.
Okay.
Now, if you are looking at how it relates, physical health relates to mental illness too. If you look at someone who has a chronic disease like diabetes or hypertension, it affects their emotions. It affects how they, they relate with other people. When I'm talking about chronic, I'm talking about the duration, the duration. So there are people who say that, oh, is this illness that will kill me? Is this illness that will kill me? The diabetes will kill me, or it
Yeah,
will kill
probably
me, or
it
it
will
will
kill
kill me.
me.
But it has to do with their mind. So the more you talk about negative things into your system, the mind believes it and processes it.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you see that the very words you uttered, you see some of those things manifesting in your health mentally.
Oh, okay. So if I get it right, some ways that we speak kind of controls our mind, which affect us mentally and physically.
Of course, and how you
Oh, okay.
process some names that you hear, how you process information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So please, I want to ask, what is the most common mental health that you've seen?
Mental illness.
Yeah, the most common one.
It's the popular depression people don't actually give so much attention to. I think depression is one of the things that a lot of people think that it's just someone being sad. Yeah, but when you are talking about depression, you are talking about someone who has been down for a period of 2 weeks, someone who is low in mood, someone who is not able to perform what they used to do, or someone who probably maybe they liked watching football
Okay.
or playing games, but for a period of time you see them withdrawing. They're contemplating suicide and that. So depression is one of the basic mental illnesses that I can mention. We have schizo and so many schizophrenia. Yeah.
Okay.
We have dementia and so many of them.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I'm really learning something. So, what are some early signs that we overlook?
So we hear people say that I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I want to end my life. Example, in depression.
Okay.
There was a time I sent a message. I used to do SMS broadcast. And so I reach out to people using some scriptures and that. So I sent a message, and a friend received a message and said that, thank you, Justice. I was at the point of ending my life.
Oh, you really saved person.
And so you realize that, he had complained to a lot of people about how things were going on in his life. And it's okay, it's just the normal things that we hear. People
Okay.
say that I am not okay, I am tired, of life, I am stressed, life is dealing with me. And sometimes we think it's just one of the things. So when you hear someone talking about complaining about life and how life is treating them, it's not that they like talking. It's not that they like complaining. Just listen to what they want to say. Some of the symptoms also include how their hygiene stuff. If you look at schizo, basically schizophrenia, there are people who, when you look at their personal hygiene, so bad. So it affects their their physical health,
Okay.
as in hygiene, how they eat, and how they even make decisions. Yeah. So sometimes you can just listen to how someone is making a statement or a submission regarding a certain topic, and you are like,
You're the person that's
yeah,
lying.
yeah.
Okay. So, based on what you just said, there are some people maybe they're not okay, but they find it difficult to communicate to people. this wrong with me, this happening to me, this is what I'm going through. So how do I know that this particular person is not okay?
You see, what people want from us is trust.
Trust.
Yes. If they are able to win your trust, if they are able to get a ground that would allow them to have that confidence in you, then you see them begin to unveil, tell you what the things they are battling with or the things they are suffering from. Because you don't just expect anyone to walk into this room or see you in church and begin to talk to you.
Okay.
So it depends on how you relate and how you accept them. When I was defining mental health, I said that how we relate to people, how we relate with others, and how we make decisions. So once we make a good ground for people to relate with us, to associate, to come around without, we looking down on them, we checking where the fellowship or worship, their level of education whatsoever, then we are giving them the opportunity to come around and be able to open up to us. So at that point, no matter what the person is going through, they will
definitely open up.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this answer has even answered my next question, that as friends, as families, as communities, when someone is going through such, that means we have to gain their trust so that they open up to us.
Absolutely. You need to open up yourself for them to come. Once they are able to get that assurance that if they talk to you, you are not going to take advantage of them, you are not going to judge them, then you have opened a big door for some of these people to come around and discuss whatever they are suffering from or battling with.
Okay. That means we have to help others and support them no matter what, and not judge them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So for someone who is feeling stressed or anxious about something, what's the first step the person must take?
The first step you must take is to relax.
Relax.
Yes, relax. I always say that whatever we are doing, someone has done it before. And whatever problem that we are facing, someone has conquered that before. So amidst the frustration, amidst the anxiety, amidst you rushing to implement some decisions that you have made, amidst you trying to figure things out, just relax.
Okay.
Relax. Just relax.
All right. So are there some daily habits that we can put up to help us with it?
Yes. So we call something journaling. You picking your book. Some people are stressed, what they do is just writing. You write whatever you are feeling in your book. That's what we call journaling, Or you get someone to a trusted person to talk to discuss what ever you are facing or going through, as well as contacting any other mental health professional, so that they can help you out. If you walk to any health center, there are mental health professionals around who will be able to give you the necessary assistance.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I honestly, I'm really learning today. I never knew.
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
That means exercise can also be part, right?
Of course.
What about reading? Because I love to read.
Reading, I mean, it opens you up. It opens you learn a lot of things. So it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do.
So initially, I thought addiction is the same as mental health. Is there a difference?
Okay, so I don't know. I think we should look at maybe drug addiction, so that because of my profession, I'll be able to tell what I know.
So can you tell us what addiction is before we add the drug addiction, so that we get to know more about it?
Basically, addiction is when someone is doing an act, is committed to an act, knowing very well the side effects or negative consequences or symptoms or results of that thing, but they continue to do because they've lost control over that. It's become something part of them. So regardless of the negative symptoms, consequences that they get, they still go ahead to do it. So you get people who are smoking, you get people who are taking heroin, who are taking marijuana, people who are taking cocaine. They beat them, they come back, they go back, then they beat them. you see people selling their properties out because
Yeah.
they're addicted to a certain drug.
Yes.
So the side effects here is that they've lost a property, they've sold a house, they've sold a car, but because of the cravings, if I say the cravings, the compulsion, how urgent they want it when they stay away from the drug.
Yeah.
Because of that one, they still go ahead to do it. But they know that they've sold something which is of so much value out, but they still go ahead to do it. That's what we when we say someone is addicted to a drug or a substance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what exactly is drug addiction, and how does it differ from experimental drug use?
So if you are asking what drug addiction is, I think I've explained that a bit. I just need to add the drug now so that we complete.
Okay.
Drug addiction, basically, the person takes alcohol, but despite the fact doctors have warned him that it's affecting your kidney or a part of your body, they still go ahead to take it
Yeah.
because it has become a part of them. So you can tell them that. So we see people and we are insulting them. This guy has been taking marijuana for this number of years and cocaine for this, and we've warned them and we've warned them, and
So,
they are still taking it. It's not their fault.
okay.
It's not their because it's the mind. The mind is psychologically hooked to that substance or that drug. So it's not as easy as we think that the person should just or can just go ahead
Oh, okay.
to stop. Experimental drug
Drug
use.
use.
We have basically we have 4 stages of drug addiction. The first one is the experimental stage. It's when the person gets exposed to a certain drug for the first time. Now, when someone gets exposed to a drug for the first time, they either benefit from the drug or they enjoy it. When someone benefits from the drug, if I am to perform in the UK or somewhere and I feel that because of the crowd, I'll be anxious in that. I go and I take a certain drug, then I perform. In that instant, the benefit I had from the drug is that it helped me to execute a certain task.
Yeah.
Then the enjoyment, the other one also is enjoyment. The enjoyment has to do with the euphoria, the feeling, the high, how excited the person becomes. Then the other one has to do with the headaches. Some take it for the first time, they feel dizzy, they feel, they vomit and that. So basically, that is the experimental stage. Then we have the recreational.
Okay.
The recreational is the second one. When someone is done with the first stage. Now, with the first stage, majority of those who enjoyed in the experimental stage are able to get down to the second stage because they enjoyed or they benefited from it. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Then we have a minor or minority of some of those people. Even though they did not enjoy the drug, they still go ahead to do it. Because if you take 100 people, you can see that 80% of the people enjoyed the drug. So they proceeded to the next stage. And 20 people didn't do that. Or
Okay.
20% did not do that. And we are saying that amidst that, regardless of the few number of people who did not do that, we still get a few amongst them who proceed to the next stage, despite the fact that they suffered, dizziness, headaches, they vomited and that. Then after the recreational stage, the person gets to the abusive stage. The abusive stage is when the symptoms are clear. The symptoms are clear that the person is using the drug, but they are still not able to control it. Then the last one has to do with the addictive stage. That's the last one. That's when we say someone is addicted to a certain substance.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we are not able to talk about it as family and as communities is that a husband or a wife can be taking a drug.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a professional comes to tell you that, oh, your husband is doing this, or your boyfriend is doing, or your father is doing this, we are able to discard that information away, not make use of it because one, the person is still able to provide or pay the bills in the house. So if I come and tell you that your dad is taking or is addicted or is using cocaine, it might not make sense to you. Basically because it's your school fees that you want, but your dad is still able to pay it. It's the bills, he's still able to pay it.
Yeah.
It's about the house, he's still building, he still goes to work. So that's where the family needs to come in. But once a professional or any other person around us begins to tell us that, oh, our daddy or our mother is abusing this or taking this, and we feel because the person is still able to execute their duties in the house, then at that point, we don't see why that drug affects the person's life.
Okay.
But if we are taking a step at that point, maybe the person will not have proceeded to the addictive stage. So for that moment, we could have corrected the error. So from the first stage to the last stage, the person can stop the drug on their own. But for the addictive stage, the person has to go for treatment. Yeah.
Okay, so for that last stage, it's very difficult.
At that point, the person psychologically, the person is hooked to the substance or to the drug. So at that point, the person needs treatment, needs professionals.
Okay, so how does the drug addiction affect our brain and mental health?
So I spoke about how when people get exposed to drugs, how they are excited, the aggressiveness. Some become aggressive, you know. Some because of the euphoria, they tend to do so many things. So drugs, it affects how you perform at work. It affects how you deliver in the house. It affects your academics. It affects a whole lot of things. A whole lot of things.
Okay, so my next question is, what are some of the most common drug people become addicted to in our society or regional community?
So a drug is a drug.
Okay.
So a drug is a drug. That's what I can say. A drug is a drug. We have marijuana. We have popularly called weed. We have cocaine. We have heroin. But there are other street names too that people call. We have that this recent thing they call red. Unim red. You know the popular.
Red.
Yes, the popular. The
it's
popular
really
unim.
trending.
Yes, the popular unim red. We have cocaine. We have heroin, and there are other types. You see people calling blue, and some of those things. So apart from the names that are known by other people, there are others we call the street names that the drug users understand or they know. We have D20, D20, and that diazepam and some of those things. And we have people, some of these things which are available for people. I think the issue has to do with also how people get access to the drugs without prescription. It's a major challenge in this country. It's a major challenge in this country.
Okay. So you'll be an aspect in that. How do I know this person, how he or she is behaving? It's not like a person is taking a drug. How do I know?
That
the behavior the person will put up.
So, okay. There are so many times that we have people that we maybe at our workplaces, then maybe all of us are taking 9,000 Ghana cedis a month. But almost all the time, you see this person going around to beg for money, to look for money from some people. Most of them, especially the youth, most of these guys are into gambling.
Gambling?
Yes. So at the point you see them, they will take money from this person to settle this person, or they will take from this person to settle this person. So how they manage their financial life is a very clear indication. Because when someone is craving for a substance or is withdrawing from a substance, basically when the person has stayed away for a period of time, because the drug has become a part of their system, when they stay away from it, they begin to become anxious, they begin to sweat and tremors and that, so many things. So you see them, going to bed. So if you go to town, you see so many, sometimes even a very nice gentleman, and they are going around begging for money. Sometimes you see some of them dressed in tattered clothes and very, excuse my language, very dirty clothes. And it's very clear for you to see that some of these people are battling or going through addiction and that. So it's not so difficult. But sometimes, unless you are a professional, or unless the person has gotten to addictive stage, most of that's when things become so clear that this person is doing. Apart from that, the finance is because that's what they use. Basically, that's what they use to purchase the drugs.
Oh, okay.
Many
But there are some people, maybe they might go around doing that, but they are not doing drugs. Maybe basically they are facing some financial challenges that are making them ask people for money. Or I can still say that since they are begging for money or asking money from other people, means they are using drugs.
I'm not disregarding the fact that people go through financial difficulties and they need money.
Okay.
But I'm saying that in a certain context, if without any clear cause or any clear indication that shows that Justice or Amma is going through this thing or is going through that thing, and I continue to see you begging for money from Kofi Mensah, Yao, Kwajo Mensah, and that, and it's most often, if you get to do your investigation, realize sometimes the person is battling something different, probably an addictive disorder. So it's not just only on the money.
Okay.
It's not just. I've seen people who they went to show people that, oh, this is my father's house, and they take money or they sold their parents' properties and that just because of the cravings they had. The person has been on alcohol for a very long time or cocaine for a very long time, and they are going through the withdrawal. So they need something to. There was a case, a gentleman was going through withdrawal, and so he had ordered for Uber, and he was inside, and in the traffic, at that moment he was going through a serious withdrawal syndrome. So from where the Uber was to where he was, it was just a short period, but because of what he was going through, he got down and started running. And the moment he got down, the traffic lights, the green one indicated, and the Uber moved. And the person was, Madin Kwazazemo, Sisi Amisina Kana Sayatuno. And he was chasing the Uber again.
Oh.
But you know what? He had to satisfy himself because he was craving for the drug. It has become a part of the person. It's you're not giving attention to that. And you see, some of these things, it starts as a joke, as curiosity, as let me try and see how it goes and that. But when it comes to the treatment, it's not a joke. Well, I know you come to that point, so let me just pause so that you get to.
Okay.
That
So if
point.
I get to right, based on what you just said, these are some things that we as families, as friends, we have to pay attention to,
Of course.
and not to ignore.
Of course.
Okay. So my next question is: so how does drug affect not only the person, but sometimes to the family members?
So we said addiction is a family disease, not because we say it is transferable, not because we say that it has to do with genetics, heredity, whatsoever. When we say addiction is a family disease, what we are trying to say is that when it affects Mensah, it equally affects Kofi too. Because the time that Kofi should have used to go to work or to go and do some other things that would benefit his life, he's using that period to attend to the brother who is battling addiction. It affects the family finance, comes with stigma and discrimination. Sometimes how society, people feel rejected in the society. You go out and they are pointing hands. This is the woman whose daughter is battling this thing. This is the woman whose son is doing that. So we say addiction is a family disease because when it affects one person, it touches the whole family. It affects your emotions and so many things. You have to really commit yourself to that. So addiction is a family disease.
Okay.
It's a family disease.
Okay. So what are some long-term consequences, both physically and mentally, of the drug addiction?
Okay, so the long term consequences is that, well, you see, when you are talking about the long term consequences of the drug of
Drug addiction.
drug addiction, when it comes to addiction, we say that people are in recovery. They are in recovery. We don't get to a point where people entirely stop taking drugs. I don't know how to put it. I don't want to discourage you, but we don't say that someone has recovered from a certain drug or from marijuana or from cocaine.
Okay.
Because once a person gets to an addictive stage, they go through the process for their whole life. So we say people in recovery. We say people in recovery or a person in recovery.
Yeah.
So the person continues to.
So it's sort of a gradual process.
Yes, it's because why? You know why? The fact that someone has gone for treatment doesn't mean that the cravings will go. Their feeling for the drug will go. No, it doesn't just go.
They'll still have it.
They'll still have it, but just that for a period of time, as time goes on, it diminishes.
Okay.
Because the person is reporting their cravings. The person, if I say reporting their cravings, the person is able to talk to trusted few around them that I feel like taking a drug, and they're able to talk the person out of that feeling.
Okay.
Yes. So that's that.
Okay. So, what's the first step someone should take if the person needs help?
Okay. So I said initially that there are so many mental health professionals around.
Okay.
If you walk to any health center, you have mental health professionals who will be able to assist you, whether it has to do with depression, it has to do with any form of mental illness. There are professionals who are well trained, licensed,
Okay.
who are able to manage some of these things. Unless otherwise, that they would have to refer the person to maybe a district level hospital or this teaching hospital. Apart from that, for the basic mental illnesses, most often the first place the person can report is the health center or maybe a CHIPS compound. If it happens that if there's a need that they refer you, then they do that.
Okay. So, what treatment options are available for such a person?
We have rehab centers.
Okay.
Which is very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
So how can we afford?
So you see, something that you started jokingly, at the end of the day, it's costing you your house, it's costing you some properties that you had, it's costing you so many things. So for some rehabs, I know for the first time you go, you are supposed to pay no less than 10,000 Ghana cedis. And that's just for 30 days. Some are even 28 days.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe at least 10,000 Ghana cedis for the first time. And maybe monthly, you're supposed to pay make a payment of 7,000 Ghana cedis or 6,000 Ghana cedis. And I don't know how many people will be able to afford, to pay close to 15,000. I know some charge more than that. Pay 10,000 or 12,000 Ghana cedis, and in 30 days time, the person is expected to pay another 7,000 or 6,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. So treatment is not really something that most people can be able to do or be able to afford. That makes drug addiction a very serious issue. So rehab is there. Rehab is there. We also hear people talking about doing home management. Why the rehab is very important is that once the person gets to rehab, we call something detoxification. So they put infusions on you. I mean, they clear your system. They clear your system. They clear the substance out of your system before they start the what we call the rehab. The rehab is basically sessions or therapies that are combined. So we have some rehab centers where they have clinical psychologists, where they have psychiatrists, where they have social workers, where they have mental health officers, they have psychiatric nurses, and even medical officers. So once we are done with the first stage, which is the detox, then we proceed to whatever is necessary regarding your treatment or your recovery.
Okay.
In this case, your recovery. So rehab is very important.
Okay.
Very
So is that
important.
the only option? Since you're saying it's very expensive, maybe some medications, some therapies or something. Can you tell? Is it only the rehab?
There's no medication for addiction.
Okay.
Our medication is the words or the therapy that we go through. The therapy that we go through. And basically, even before someone recovers from any form of addiction, they must be humble.
Okay.
They must be humble to take inputs or decisions from other people. They must be open-minded and they must be willing. Basically, it's HOW. They must be humble to understand that they have tried stopping the drug not once, not two times, not three times, but they always come back to the same thing that they said they will not do again. So they must be humble enough.
Yeah.
That the drug has defeated me, and be open-minded to take inputs from professionals or people around them. Then the last one, which has to do with the W, has to do with willing, the person's ability or willingness to make use of whatever they've had from maybe their therapy session or from their therapist or from any form of treatment session that they had with a professional.
Okay. So how can families and friends support someone?
People with addictive disorders, they're just like us. They're not different. They need love. They need to be taken care of. They are not bad people. They are not criminals. I think one of the things I've also seen is that when someone comes to the rehab and they begin to, improve in their physical health, you see their relatives coming around and they're like, no, the person is getting better because they are looking at the physical, appearance of the person.
Okay.
But we are looking at their mind, because I said that at that point the person's mind is psychologically hooked to a drug. So it's not about the person's physical appearance. So if my mom comes to a rehab, sees me, maybe before I came to a rehab, I'd grown lean, I lost weight and that, and now he comes there, sees me weighing 78,
Yeah.
and that. Me, I was weighing 42. Now I'm weighing 48. She feels like, oh, my son is okay. It's far from that. Because of that, sometimes you find relatives mounting pressure on the professionals that I need my daughter or my son to be discharged.
Okay.
And sometimes you have no option than to, because there are the people who are paying the bills, and they have the right to also do any discharge against medical advice.
Okay.
So you do that. Now, the other aspect we feel is that we see them coming. I said that when people are battling of these things, the fact that they come for rehab doesn't mean that they are okay. The cravings will not just go. It will be there. It's going to be there.
Okay.
So you must provide that atmosphere, that environment where they can come to you and say, Mommy, I feel like taking marijuana or I feel like taking alcohol again today. Then the mother should be able to talk the person out. But if the person comes and you're like, you that I spent over 200,000 on you for the rehab, you are coming to tell me that you are feeling for the substance or you want to take alcohol again. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
At that point, the person is likely to go back to that drug again. So they should be loved. They should be supported. We should be able to trust them. Give them, some task to perform.
Okay.
And believe that they will be able to do, rather than just saying that, oh, this person is this and that, and leaving them. Because once they also become idle, they are likely to
start to go back.
Because we say that addiction draws in secrecy. When we are alone, we are not doing anything. That's one of the slogans. Addiction dwells in sick. Expose it to die. Expose it to die means that let the person go, give the person a task. Let the person mingle around other people. So when the cravings are coming, why he's in the midst of other people, so he's not going to take it again.
Okay.
People are likely to talk the person out of that thing.
Okay, so can people fully recover from drug addiction, or is a lifetime process?
Treatment is, we say the person is in recovery. The treatment, the person, you don't just get people at a point that they don't feel for a drug again.
Okay.
So when it comes to that, we say, someone has been sober, or the person has been in recovery for 20 years, for 10 years, for 5 years, for 40 years. But we don't say that this person has recovered from drug addiction, so he's not having any cravings again.
Okay.
When it comes to this thing, we don't say that. So
okay.
it's something that you're going to live for the rest of your life. You're going to live for the rest of your life. Yes.
So even after the rehab, still you can't recover.
The fact that you have gone for rehab doesn't mean that you have recovered. It's not malaria that you go and they give you some medications and you are out of the hospital and you think you're okay. It's unlike that one. This one is not like that. Okay. We call something NA groups. NA basically means Narcotic Anonymous. It's a group of people who are battling addictive disease or who are substance users, and maybe they are out of the hospital or the treatment center. Now they form a group to discuss their challenges and to see how they're able to help themselves. So that's what the person needs. Because when they go there, they're able to share their stories. When you came out of the rehab, what did you go through? How did you feel? How did society, make you feel? So they listen to stories at their meetings, and they are able to forge or to move on. But there's nothing like, I have recovered from addiction. I've recovered from drug addiction. Because you always have the craving. And sometimes when you are down, you are likely to. Because the issue with people who are battling drug addiction is that when they are happy, they take it. When they are not happy, they take it. When they pass their exams and they are happy, they go and take alcohol. Mm-hmm. When they are sad, they go and take alcohol. So you are likely to battle that for the rest of it. So recovery is a process. It's a lifetime process.
So what message will we give to someone who feels there's no way out?
There is hope for any drug addict or anyone who is battling drug addiction.
Okay.
There are rehab centers around that can help people recover. There are mental health professionals available for people who would listen to you, listen to your story, would listen to you without judging, would have time for you without discriminating regardless of your religion whatsoever. So there's help. But the basic thing I would say, don't try.
Okay.
Don't try the substance. Don't try the drug. Because it is easier to start than to end it. Okay. It's very easy to start using the drug than to stop using it.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you too.
For today. In fact, we are honored to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for listening to us. And do you have a word for my listeners? Just a word.
So yes, there's a rehab center I would like to mention. Bansik Rehabilitation Recovery Centers in Accra. It's at Amrahia, around the Dudua Road.
Okay. We
have psychiatrists, we have clinical psychology, we have social workers, we have mental health officers, we have medical doctors. So it's a comprehensive treatment center.
Okay.
You have all the professionals, we have occupational therapists. So if there's anyone watching me who wants a rehab to go, I recommend BRRC for you.
Okay.
To come out. If you also need my contact, maybe 0548 334221. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you all.
gotta work.